Hey everybody, I am back in the Nautilus and I'm here to continue working on the build for it. We're going to pick up where we left off last time, working on the front of the ship. And after I signed off last time, I was looking at this and there's two things that kind of caught my eye. First of all, this comes a lot further forward. This flat stretch here comes a lot further forward than it did in the movie. And the second thing I noticed was I kind of have a slope and then a flat section, and then the slope goes right up to the top. I was thinking I should mimic this stair-step approach all the way up. So I'm actually going to take that out. And I think I'm going to take that out. We're going to duplicate that. I think that's going to just look better, and it should save a little bit of memory. Plus, if we can remove a few little blocks in here, that would be a good thing too. Okay, so I'm going to slide that back in just a moment. First though, I want to take that out. Alright, then we slide this back. We need this piece under here. And before I fill in that top section, let's go ahead and fix this little section here. So we need to slide that back too. We'll see how far the slope goes back. And then we can address the floor sections here. And I think we had a small block in here. Oh, no, we didn't. Okay. So this will slide all the way back there. And drop that under there. Okay. And then we'll just kind of plug some gaps. Yep, another gap under there. Alright, that to me looks better. I like the look of that. And I don't think I need to do anything up here with this. I think that looks good. Okay, now for the challenging part. Because I was looking at this, and we've got the prow of the ship at this level. We've got this long extra section down here kind of sticking out. So I'm not sure how we're going to fold this into this. Thinking we're going to end up duplicating this for part of this. So that was kind of the easy part. This would have to probably go like this. I guess we could also go like that if we need to, but yeah. See, we end up with this. The other part of this too is this part, which comes out to here. So somehow we have to mesh this in as well. So we got the underside of the ship, we've got this part of the ship, Yeah, not so sure about this. Needs to blend in somehow here. Could pull this part forward. And then do that part. But because of the placement of this block, I can't really fit anything in here. I guess I could take out those panels, put in some other kind of block. But then how do we tie this in down here is the other question. Obviously this isn't going to go down all the way. Probably not that one either. And that's going to stick out down there. Well, that's not too bad. Alright, so we end up with something that looks like that. Alright, then we end up with that. Part of me is thinking I shouldn't be putting in all these blocks until I know for sure how this is going to look, but I think I kind of have to put in some of those blocks in order to see that it's going to look somewhat decent. All right, let's try taking these couple of panels out here. Oops. All right, that's starting to blend a little bit. Let's try bringing this over next. Okay. I think on this side, let's pick this piece up and put in this smaller one. And then I think we need to kind of try to blend this in somewhat. That'll end ends up going there. All right, how's that look? That's not too bad, actually. That's not too bad. Kind of got this little goofy section in here, but I mean, this doesn't blend in too well, but on the other hand, that's not too bad. I think as you look at this from the side, that looks fairly decent. And even as you look at this from the front, it's not too bad. You get an idea of the shape of the boat anyway. Okay. So now that we have this side figured out, the next step will be to mirror all of that on this side and do everything we did over here on this side. So we're going to have to trim this corner, fit the pieces in around that, build the slope along here, carry all of these pieces across here and over here and down along the side and all of that. And I think I'll do that offline because I don't think you need to see me do all of that. If you've been able to follow along and build all of this, it should be really easy to then build the same thing on this side and just mirror it. So I think the next thing I want to do is come back to the back part of the ship. If I come out of spark mode, I'm looking at the memory meter on the right. And by the time I get this outer hull done all the way around, that's going to be at least half again as much up towards the top, and we're going to be pushing into the red zone. And all I'm going to have in this toy box is the boat. And that's not exactly what I want. I want enough free space left over to be able to build a little adventure in here. And what I need is about what I have left right now. So, as much as it pains me to do this on my Wii U, I'm going to have to remove some things. And Jet Blast 190 suggested removing the storage area in the back here, because that's not really needed. And so I think that's going to be the main thing to go. So we're going to delete that. We're going to delete these. I'm going to slide this forward and just seal off the galley. And we'll just put these in order to seal the gap. And I think actually it might be better to put that in that way. And taking out these little interior decorations will help save a little bit of space. And we're not going to need this big block. We are going to have a little gap under there, though. The other part of this is this little storage room back here. So we're going to take that out as well. And removing these decorations will help save some memory too. Because things from the decorations drawer take up a lot of memory. More so than your other building pieces, because they're destructible for one. Alright, so we take that out. That saves us a little bit of memory, not a lot though. Probably not going to notice anything over here anyway right now, but The other benefit that we're going to see of this is as we build the rest of the hull in here, we're not going to have to extend it down as far. So I'm not going to need as many exterior blocks around the hull because the hull doesn't go that far. I'm going to go ahead and remove these replayers because we're done with these. We've already put down the blocks and all the pieces in the captain's quarters here. So everything that those replayers were putting down, they're in place. I'm never going to remove them at this point, so that's done. I am done with interior decorations, so I can remove the toy box door. And I'm going to leave that for right now. And taking out that toy box door, I think, did reclaim a little bit of memory. So that helped a bit. But, yeah, I think that's pretty good for right now. I'm going to try to keep everything else if I can. We'll see how things go. And then, like I said, at this point, it's just a matter of duplicating on this side what we already got on the other side of the ship. Okay, since I got a little extra time, let me pull up my screen grab here, and I'll do this in the edited video as well. And I wasn't prepared to do this, so give me just a moment to find this profile shot. All right, here we go. So if you look at the shot that I'm looking at, we have our window, and on the back there's a dorsal fin almost right behind the window. That would sit about here on the ship. And right behind the dorsal fin actually is the hatchway that leads down, and you can see that in this shot. And if we look at what I've got here, though, the hatchway is actually way back here. And I don't think the exterior model they made for the Nautilus really matched the interior. I mean, they lined up stuff a lot pretty well, but there's just no way this hatch could sit here with the way the interior is laid out. So I think what I will do, we're going to build that little dorsal fin right where it's supposed to be. The hatch would have sat here, and then this would have been where the little rowboat skiff was. And so we're just going to leave that to be the hatch. So I think it'll be more important to have the exterior look correct, even if the hatchway isn't quite there. So we're going to put that profile right here. And looking at that, let's just see how that lines up. I think we're actually going to take that piece out and put in the longer one and move it back just a bit. So we're going to put that here like that. Yeah. And then we'll kind of do that. And a couple of blocks under there like that. That's a little too pokey. So let's replace that with a balcony wedge. I think that's a little further down. Why they didn't locate this with the other angled pieces, I don't know, but yeah, I think that's a little better. That looks a little more like what we saw there. And again, even though the hatch isn't right here, it's down here, I think that will be okay. Okay, and there's that. And then at that point, the shape of the sub drops off. If we look at that picture again, that's right there. So we have these flat sections, which kind of go back toward the tail. And do we want to go down that low? Let me take this off. I'm thinking, because these are going to go along here like this, and then they're going to start to angle backward. Might be better if we could get to a point where we're along here like this. Now, how do we get from here out to here? I am not quite sure. And we can stagger this kind of like this. Something like that. And you kind of cover up some of that ugliness, although you're going to have a gap under there. Even with this. Yeah, that's not going to work so good, is it? Not going to be able to get anything that looks like a smooth curve there. I don't know that you want anything real abrupt here either. If we put that in there like that, we do something like that. That's a little bit different color though, isn't it? Because of the way the light's hitting it, I think. And I'm thinking we'll save a little memory here. If we take those out, we drop something like that in there. We do have gaps under here though, we gotta fill. Okay, so something like that could work. And of course we got gaps underneath here we gotta fill. Except that's hitting something here. Oh, the bulkhead. That angled piece that we had connected to a path. That's what that's hitting. Well, maybe I won't worry too much about those gaps. Player's not going to really probably notice that too much anyway. We could plug some of it. At least that part of it. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to put all of that all the way down. The sub should be getting thinner before it reaches this point. And that is hitting that. Ouch. I don't know that I really want that sticking out like that. Now that fits. That will not, but we can use that. Still got gaps under here though to fill. Yeah, that should be tapering to a shorter section here, but we got the engine room coming through, so we're not going to be able to do that. Let me put in a couple smaller floor pieces here. Set that to be our theme. Pick it up. Put that in to try to save a little bit of physical space. Not memory, but because this way we can try to have the ship start angling upward towards the rear at that point. And we can kind of do that here a little bit too. We grab this. And have this at this point. Start working its way up. Although, there we run into a problem. Let's see. Okay, so it's just the block above us that's not centered, or that's centered. But really, this should be going like that. That'll continue to go like that. And this will continue to go along like that. We stick this piece back in here like this. Okay. Let's see what we got. Yeah, that's starting to look pretty good. The shape of it is right. The proportions up top are right with the location of the bridge, that tail fin, the jagged ram on the front. It's just this tail section now we got to kind of figure out. Well, at this point, I'm going to go offline and do the other side of that hull. And when I come back next time, we'll take a quick look at that. And we'll keep working on the back part of the ship. And my memory meter is starting to approach that red zone. And we'll just kind of see how it goes. But thank you for watching. Before you go, leave a comment and let me know what you think of this submarine so far. This is looking pretty good. I'm also curious, those of you who are on a PS4 or an Xbox One, some system that has more memory than my Wii U, if you're following along and building this with me, and I know some of you are, I'm curious where your memory meter is at, so let me know that too. And again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.